Hello and welcome to Today in Brevard Sports. I'm Lee Nessel.
And I'm Brian McCallum.
As you can see, we brought a little bit of the outdoors in today. We wish we were at the beach, so we wore our tropical prints. We've got some surfboards. Today we're going to focus on the ocean. You can surf it, swim in it, or if things go badly, you need rescuing from it. Today we will introduce you to two local surfers, one who makes a living by surfing and another who is well on his way to doing so. Florida Today's surfing expert Hillard Grossman recently spoke to former world champion CJ Hobgood of Satellite Beach. We'll also meet 10-year-old Luke Marks of Melbourne Beach. This future star has all the maneuvers and is catching plenty of attention around the globe.
CJ was in town for an ocean safety event, and we have a report on that day of learning for 100 area kids. We also have our weekly surf report, or for summer we could call it the weekly surf hunt, because surf is hard to find this time of year.
That's why the boards are here behind us and not out in the ocean right now. Also, we will have Florida Today columnist Peter Kerasotis, who will join us for his commentary on current topics in sports.
If you know surfing, you should know CJ Hobgood, especially if you've lived in Brevard County for a while. The former world champion was back home last week, sharing his passion for the ocean with the area youth. Hillard Grossman talked to CJ about maintaining an 11-year career, how he sees that career wrapping up, and a few other issues.
Kind of anyone can really go around and I think have impact on any particular sport or you know, their passion for anything for a few years, but to do it for 11 years is kind of, you got to reinvent yourself, you got to try different stuff, and yeah, I mean, maybe it's working, maybe it's not, kind of only really it's first or last at this point in my career. You know, I'll turn 30 this year, and but you know, I'm still having fun, and I think as long as I can have that fun, and the results will show. So we'll see what happens. You know, I don't take it too seriously. I do love coming home. I do love hanging out here and seeing people, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, I'll give it everything I have, and whatever happens, walk away and be stoked. I definitely don't sit back and go, oh, you know, I did this or I did that. But the only thing I'm really thinking about now is, you know, the next chapter. What am I gonna do after surfing? You know, so. But I just know, you know, I look at people that retired, have retired. I just want to like, just do everything. And so I can walk away. You know, I keep seeing that Brevard story on ESPN every single time I turn it on, and you know what? I really don't want to be that guy. I don't really want to be that guy that hangs around and steals the limelight from all these kids and these young guys coming up. I mean, I don't really think that's the role to play, and I want to give it everything I have when I'm done. I just want to walk away and retire and worry about the next thing, and then maybe I'll think about what I've done or haven't done.
What advice do you give to Groms, you know, trying to be a pro surfer around here?
Well, you know, no matter where you grow up, no matter, you know, what your circumstances are, whether it would be your family, financial, or the ocean, you know, and you see it all the time, and you know, no one can really judge your heart, you know, and so you know, obviously my heart and my love and everything else is obviously superseded, you know, me growing up in Florida or whatever, and you see it all the time, you know, and that's the advice that I want to give kids, you know. I mean, doesn't matter what your circumstances are, you know, you're going to have that fight, and you're going to want it more, and you have to fight for it more than the next guy to achieve any goal, you know, whether you have the best circumstances or the worst, you know, that's just what's going to have to happen when you enter the sports arena. And then obviously coming home and seeing all my friends and family, and you know, I think it's the reason why Kelly still calls it home and I still call this home, is because honestly, you come back here, man, no one really cares. No one really cares what you've achieved, what you've not achieved, and it's a balance, you know. It keeps you humble, and it keeps you good. It keeps you the fight, and then it's good, man. People just want to rap out and hang out and talk, and yeah, they don't care what I do or don't do on the tour, so it's good.
Hillard Grossman, our surfing expert, joins us here on the set. Mahalo, Hillard, is that what we say?
That's right, that's it.
Fascinating interview. I loved it. And I especially like the part about his talking about the end of his career, and he doesn't want to be another Brett Favre. But We've heard athletes say that before. Is this something that you get a sense that he'll stick with that, or is there a temptation to keep coming back?
It's hard to let go, when the money's right out there. I know CJ's a straight-A student. He's smart. He's got a lot of connections out in the surfing world. He's got his own store down there in Indian Harbor, in the Atlantic, the goods store. And he's surfing the world. I mean, he's enjoying life right now. And I don't know. I just don't see him stepping out. He's had 11 straight years on the world circuit, and that's just amazing to qualify 11 consecutive seasons. Kelly Slater, he retired at age 27. And came back. Of course, while he was retired, CJ walked in and stole one of the world championships in 2001. So that was kind of cool. But I don't think CJ would step down for quite a while. He's still young. He's just turning 30 next week, and we'll see. He's got plenty of action to go.
Yeah.
No, somebody, obviously you mentioned Kelly retired and then came back and had probably more success than probably anybody thought he would. I mean, look at him. He's on the verge. We don't know. He's not as good a start this year as last year. Just got number 9. He's still surfing. He might get number 10. And part of what you talked to CJ about was Kelly and, the beatability of Kelly. Can he beat him? What did he have to say about that?
Kelly, CJ would really like to see Kelly stay on the tour, to be honest with you. He raises the level of competition out there for everyone, even though CJ may not beat him all the time. But you've seen this year that Kelly has been human. I mean, he's lost 3 times. He's finished 17th 3 consecutive times. He's down in the 25th spot right now, which puts him in a deep hole at the beginning of the season. There's only 7 events left on the world tour. But CJ, he'd like to see Kelly stay out there. I mean, they're still buddies, in the long run, even though Kelly still beats him off and on.
Yeah. We're going to have a story very shortly about a 10-year-old surfer from Melbourne Beach, and 30-year-olds and 10-year-olds. How many sports do you have that kind of age range in that are competitive? But he's not, obviously right now, ready to step into those kind of shoes. Are there local people, guys that you know, or even ladies, that are ready to become names that more people know and step into the national spotlight?
I'd say one, to be honest with you, is Blake Jones of Melbourne Beach. This guy has shown a lot of promise. He's a young kid, and he's been on the heels of CJ Hobgood, believe it or not. He's followed him to France. He just came back from the Maldives competing in a 6-star event. He's getting a lot of experience throughout the world, which is what you need, really, to become a successful surfer. Blake Jones finished 3rd in our Sebastian Inlet Pro earlier this year, and he's just a kid who's got the potential to go out there. It's really a commitment to make it on the World Championship Tour. I just spoke to Connie Arias. She was our best female surfer here in Brevard County. She's from Melbourne Beach, and she is now representing Billabong in a lot of photo shoots and traveling around the world. And she's off the WQS. The WQS is a hard place to qualify. I mean, there's thousands of surfers out there, and there's only room for 15 men, about 5 women. I mean, it's just ridiculously hard to do it. You've really got to have a commitment, no matter where you come from, no matter what your background is.
Thank you, Hillard. One thing about the ocean is that there is always another wave coming, and it's the same thing in the sport of surfing. As Hobgood is turning 30 and thinking about his next step in life, Luke Marks is trying to be part of the next wave of successful surfers. Let's meet the 10-year-old phenom.
I'm Luke Marks, and I live in Melbourne Beach, Florida, and I'm 10 years old. Probably my favorite place to surf is probably Sebastian Inlet, because that's where I usually surf. It's my home break. It's a pretty short ride to come down there. It's about 5 minutes from my house, and I surf there mostly. It's a really fun wave. It's a nice right that wedges off the jetty. I like being sponsored because you get a lot of surf trips because your sponsors pay for them.
He's a very passionate little boy who puts a lot of energy into surfing. He has big dreams to become a professional surfer one day. But as talented as he is and as well as he's done in contest, he still keeps it in check.
My favorite board right now is probably this one right here. It's a 411, and Greg Gosman shaped it. from Orion Surfboards, and he's shaped me some really good boards. This is probably one of my favorites, and he's probably shaped me couple of the best boards I ever ridden.
Luke's a straight A student. He's gotten straight A's pretty much since he's been in kindergarten. He just finished 4th grade with straight A's, was given an award at Gemini Elementary. He's also got a perfect FCAT score last year and a 5 in math and a 5 in reading this year, which is as high as you can go.
Well, I surf mostly every day, and I'm training with a coach, John Holman. He trains me. I usually go down there, at least try to get down there once a week just to train with him. And I surf mostly every day, no matter what the conditions are. It could be 6 inches or 6 foot, and I'm still out there. And I just like surfing it just to get better and better. You just got to train every day, and eventually the work pays off.
Well, Luke says he'll be out there whether the waves are 6 inches or 6 feet. I'm not sure if we'll see him if he's out there and the waves are 6 feet, but the word is probably more the same for surf here on the small or non-existent side this week.
Well, waves or not, Saturday is still a great time to grab your board and head to the beach. It's International Surfing Day. 5 years ago, Surfing Magazine editors and the Surfrider Foundation came up with a plan to promote and celebrate the sport by bringing awareness to the state of our oceans and beaches. Activities tomorrow include free surf lessons behind Ron John's, a Volcom t-shirt giveaway, and various events by the Cocoa Beach Surfrider Foundation. That will be at 4th Street North at Cocoa Beach. Sunday, by the way, is Go Skateboarding Day.
Surfing without water. Maybe a calm ocean is the best time to teach youngsters about safety. Our cameras were in Melbourne Beach last weekend for Ocean Safety Day, put on by Legacy Sports and Life Skills. So many kids were interested in this program that they had to cap it at 100.
The purpose of Ocean Safety Day just evolved out of an effort to raise awareness for our junior lifeguard program. The day came together phenomenally with the help of Health First, who wanted to join in and teach these kids about CPR and first aid. We had a day like this up in Cocoa Beach. It went so well, and now the Marine Rescue Team invited us to run a day here. Basically, we're showing kids how to deal with rip currents, panic victims, staying on course, showing them that they've got to be fit, not only physically, but mentally for life. And if they like what they do today, we want them to know that there are options for them to not only become lifeguards in the future, but also to get involved in the sport of competitive surf lifesaving, which is a worldwide competitive sport, very, very popular in Australia, New Zealand, and California, and even New Jersey. Competitive surf lifesaving is a big sport among older lifeguards, so that, I mean, we're talking strong, big men and women that have been saving lives their whole lives. So now they have age groups of kids that compete in competitive surf lifesaving. I am so amazed with the turnout. We actually had to cut this off at 100. We're doing our best to keep these 100 kids entertained. That's a lot of kids to keep entertained and at attention, because some of these kids aren't so used to paying attention. They just want to have fun. But we tell them, you know what? You can have fun and learn at the same time, and they're learning a whole heck of a lot today.
Wow, did she breathe? What great energy. Donna Bollinger has a lot of passion for instilling life skills in our youth. For more information on Ocean Safety Days and other programs, visit legacysportsandlife.com.
Florida Today columnist Peter Kerasotis joins us now with his weekly commentary. Peter, I know you and Shaq have been on the couch watching the NBA Finals series. I read that in your column. So it's over now. Give us your thoughts on the season, and then kind of look forward to next season, what the Magic need to do to get back and maybe take another step.
Well, I think the Magic and their fans ought to be very happy with this season that just ended. And of course, you know, when you lose in the NBA Finals, there's a lot of disappointment. I get emails from fans telling me that, they were vexed a little bit about how these NBA Finals went, Orlando losing 4-1. But really don't be. This has been a great, great season for them. And preseason, the Los Angeles Lakers were a lot of people's preseason picks to win it all. And so that's really not a surprise. Orlando, for the most part, played very well in the NBA Finals. Those 2 games that went into overtime, had they lost just one game, or won one of those 2 overtime games, it could have been a different series, but it didn't go that way. But a lot to feel good about with this season, and of course Dwight Howard only 23 years old. I think they're going to try to keep this team together. The big news in the offseason is going to be Hito Turkoglu as far as being an unrestricted free agent July 1st. What are they going to do? Are they going to go over into the luxury tax realm to try to keep him? I think they're going to keep him. I think they see a window of opportunity here with this team to perhaps get back to the NBA Finals, maybe win it all. The other thing to keep in mind is that this is their last season at the Amway Arena. And they don't really want to go backwards as they go forward into that new arena that they're going to be in for the 2010-2011 season. So I really think that they're going to try to keep Hito. They're going to try to keep this team together and kind of capitalize on a team that went to the NBA Finals with an extremely young center and see if they can get back there and maybe win it all. So a lot to feel good about, and we'll see what happens in the offseason.
Yeah, I've driven past that thing. It looks huge to me from the interstate. Switch a little bit to baseball, which is going on right now. Some big news this week with Sammy Sosa. I don't know how many people thought he was clean. Do you think his legacy is tarnished, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, my first thought is shocking. No, not really. I can't imagine anybody thought that Sammy Sosa was clean, and you know, hear his name now from that list of 104 names. A-Rod, the first to be leaked. Now Sammy Sosa, the second to be leaked. Another 102 names on that list from 2003. What are we going to see going forward? I think eventually we're going to see that list is floating around amongst attorneys, and I think we're eventually going to know who all those players are, you know, all 104, the remaining 102 players. And as far as Sammy Sosa is concerned, I don't think anybody is shocked. This is a guy, you know, I was looking at some of his stats. In 1997, he hit 36 home runs. The next year, 66. A 30 home run jump, and then he hit 63 the following year after that, 50, and then 64, and then he started to decline a little bit. A guy also, let's not forget that in 2003, he was also caught using a corked bat. I think his legacy is permanently tarnished. I have a Hall of Fame vote. I don't vote for Mark McGwire every year. I won't vote for Barry Bonds. And I'm not going to vote for Sammy Sosa or any of the other players that come out to have been people who use performance-enhancing drugs. I know, you know, some who have Hall of Fame votes feel differently. That's the way I feel. I may change my opinion. I don't know. I've changed with Pete Rose through the years. I thought he should have been kept out of the Hall of Fame, and now I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but kept out of baseball. But with these scandals of using performance-enhancing drugs and cheating, I think for Sammy Sosa, finally now we're starting to see some evidence of what a lot of us have always suspected, that he was a user. So we'll see what happens going forward with that list. You know, 102 names still on there. I think we're going to hear more of those names. And I think, you know, I've always said, as we go forward, there's going to be more and more that we're going to hear from the past. And this doesn't surprise me, and I don't think it surprises many people.
I agree with you. So you have that going for you.
Okay.
Thanks, Peter. Very interesting again.
And I always like it when you agree with me, because that's not very often.
That's right.
No, I think we do agree on most things.
Thank you, Peter. I was taking that all in over here, feeling pretty relaxed. Well, that's it for another edition of Today in Brevard Sports. Hey.
Is it time for me to turn over yet?
Wow, that hat is really great.
Thank you.
By
I
the
saw
way.
it in the window and couldn't resist it. Remember, you can always follow us in the newspaper at Florida Today or online at floridatoday.com.
Or at the beach. We'll see you next week.
Hang loose.